Hi, hello, good morning everyone. Thank you for coming to join me today. Today I just wanted to do a quick video with you. I've got a little kit from the paper Cameo, and I think it's called the Secret Window, but I'll name it and put a link to the Etsy store where I got it from in the description below. And I just thought it was a cute little addition to a journal. And I thought I'd just show you how to make it because it is really simple and it comes with really good instructions. I've not printed the instruction sheets out, but it comes with quite detailed a sheet of A4 instruction on how to use it. And you can actually use it either to go in a journal or you can use it as a tea light. So you'd put either a battery operated, you get those little flickering lights that you put behind it. So you could use it on one of those as well. So I know that it comes in A4 and US size, but I just thought I'd show you. So I've made one and I've put it as if it was in a journal just to show you what it kind of looks like. So if this was a journal, so let's use our imagination, and we're flipping through the journal pages and then we get to the page. Can you see it's like a little secret window that opens up as you're going through, and when you close it, it folds nicely and it's not bulky. You don't really know it's there. And I just think that's really pretty. So I hope you can see that okay and get it's hard to see when I'm videoing it, what it looks like. And then of course it goes. And if you put that in the centre of your journal, which obviously you'd stitch it in there, you can still get your needle in and do your stitching. It would be a little bit fiddly, I guess. But I don't think you could attach it once you'd made your journal because your journals don't lay flat enough. But you can certainly still stitch it in. So I just thought that I would show you how they go together, just so that you can get the feel for them, if you don't mind. Just having a little play, really. So what have I done? I've got them printed out. So printing them out, okay. I've got all sorts of bits of paper in front of me. Sorry for the kerfuffle. So you get two sets. So you get the one with the pink flowers and then you get the one that's like this. So you get two in the kit so that you've got a choice. I don't know if I've put the flowers with the right ones, but I think I have. So the way that it works is I've double-sided this so that it can go in a journal. So I suppose I could have trimmed this off before I put the camera on, but sorry, I'm just tipping everything over. But I just wanted to show you kind of my start to finish process. So I'm just cutting those edges off of my paper. So this is what the instructions class as the background paper. So I'm just cutting those white edges off. Get rid of those. So that is going to be the background. So that's the image that you're going to see through the window. So I'm just going to fold that in half as if it was going to go, as if it's just a journal page. So you can see that I've got the crease down there. Now this one is what makes the window, and it comes with instructions, and I don't know if you can see it. So it comes with the fold lines. So for the tea light, you fold it on a different line. So you've got the line that folds it so that it's going to fold out. If it's a tea light, you don't do the centre fold, I don't think, because the tea light one, you don't want it to fold. It kind of bows out, but it's all in the instructions. So I'm going to cut this out. But before I do, I am going to put the folds in because I found when I did the other one, it would have been easier if I had made the folds before I cut it out. So I'm just lining up those dotted lines. So that's one, not very straight, Carol. So that's one fold. So that one folds forward because that's where it's going to fold closed when you stick it in. Then I don't want that line because that's the tea light line. So I'm going to fold it on the second line because it's going to be into a journal. And then I actually want that one to fold the other way, because that's what's going to stick. You can kind of get the feeling for it now, but it's easier just to see your dotted lines for journaling. So it fold on this line, that's it, so that you can just see which lines you're folding it on, like that. So I've got my fold, so you can actually kind of start to see, once you've got those lines in, how it's going to work. So now comes the bit that's quite painful for me, and that's cutting them out. It says, cut this hole out to make the viewing window. If you're creating a journal insert, crease it forward down the middle before cutting so that the frame is creased in the correct spot. If you're creating the tea light, do not crease. So this could be quite painful watching me cut, because I always kind of faff with it. I'm not a very good cutter, and especially when I've got the camera stuck there. So bear with me just one moment. I think if I was doing this as the tea light, I would use a heavier weight paper, or back it on, you know, stick it onto the background to be a cardstock or something. And as I say, you can get those battery operated little flickering tea lights, can't you? It would look lovely behind that. Or even those, you can get the little fairy lights, can't you? So that's cut round there, so you can kind of get a feeling for that, like that. Okay, now it's because you're going to match this up with the line, you just need to leave a couple of tabs on. So I'm going to cut this out, cut it round, so just bear with me. I don't need to keep those little lines. I'm going to leave that one just because that makes it a little bit easier to line it up once you've cut it out. I don't need those dotted lines because I've made my folds. I just thought this was a cute addition to a journal. You know, if you're doing a fairy journal or a, you know, a botanical journal, I just thought it would make a nice little addition. Now here it says line up with halfway point on the page, so I'm actually going to leave that for now. Just cut round that, and I'm going to cut that off later. So I'm not going to leave these tabs on. They are going to be cut off. Again, I am just going to leave that one. So I don't know if you'll find this video useful, but I just thought they are little cute additions to a journal. And I've got a little idea as well, if I've got time, to show you. And I'm going to just leave that one for a minute, but that will get cut off again later. There we go. So that doesn't take long to cut out. Make sure I get my butterflies up the right way. Now what you need to do, not difficult, is where you've creased this page, you're going to line it up with the crease on your background page. Oh, before I do that, I'm just going to make a little mark down the side of my page. So I'm just going to put a little pencil mark where the halfway down the edge of the page is. There, just a little mark, because that's where I'm going to try and match these tab bits up to. So kind of they would go there like that. And then these, am I in frame? Let's do the top one. These are going to match with sorry, I'm just trying to see over the camera. That's there and that's there. So that is going to go just there. And then this one is going to match with the crease line of the centre page, which is just there. There we are. So that, and you can see, I can see, I don't know if you can. Let me just clip that on. I just don't want that to move. So I don't know if you can see. Hold on a minute. So I've got my crease line there, and then I've got my page crease line there, and it matches all the way down. Okay. So then what I can do is cut this extra bit off here, because that's going to fit on there. And this one here. Okay. And then what we're going to do is stick these flaps. So we've got this flap here. I'm just going to put glue on here because it's going to glue onto there. I think I liked these because I think sometimes you just need something that doesn't take too long to put together but looks really effective in your journal. So I've just put glue on there, and because I've clipped it in, it's not going to move. So I'm just going to fold that back and I'm going to glue that on there. So that is only glued up to that crease. It's not glued past that crease. And then again, I'm going to do exactly the same. So I'm only gluing up to the crease. I've just put that paper there because obviously I don't want to glue onto the rest of it. So there, I am just gluing that bit down. Oopsie. So I can take those two off now because it's there. So that is laying nice and flat. So I can now get rid of these tabs because they've served their purpose. So clip that one off there and that one off there. And then cross your fingers, folks, but when I close that then, can you see that will just close nicely so that when you open it, can you see it opening and closing okay? So you can see that you've got that lovely lady hiding inside there with the beautiful roses. I mean, that would be perfect, wouldn't it, for a fairy journal or like botanical journal. So that's how they work. That's how they go together. So my thought was, I've printed them 2 to a page. So I've just shrunk them down. My printer, these are printed 2 to a page. So they were 1 page of A4 and that was 1 page of A4, and I've just cut them out. So what I thought I would try and do is make a smaller one. So if you just bear with me one moment whilst I, do your folds first, Carol. That's the centre fold. Because if you cut these out without doing your folds, you can't remember where they were. So that's the one that's gonna, I don't know if it, I don't see why this won't work doing it smaller. And I think as long as you shrink your pages the same, so the background and the window page, as long as you're going to shrink them down equally, you know, so 2 to a page, 2 to a page, fit to page, however your printer works, then there's, oopsie, there's no reason why this wouldn't work. But let's have a look. Let's have a little play. So we're just cutting that out. I'm just going to leave that little notch there just for a minute, because that's the match up the edge. So how are you all doing? I've managed to get enough videos so that you all won't miss me when I'm gone for my break. So I'm doing this on No idea what date it is today, the 8th or the 9th of June. Sorry, I'm concentrating while I'm cutting. I'm not the world's best fussy cutter, but it serves its purpose, doesn't it? I know some people do really, really intricate fussy cutting. I think I have to be in the mood for it to do intricate fussy cutting. And I usually end up then, when I fussy cut it out, 9 times out of 10, it ends up that I accidentally tear it when I'm gluing it because it's got so fine in between. So just cutting that bit off, leaving my tabs so that I can fit it to the centre. Yeah, so those of you that watch me, which is probably those of you that are watching me, probably won't even notice that I've gone because, as I say, I've got all the videos done. They're all pre-recorded. So this is the last one that I'm doing, last video I'm doing before I go away. Just basically because next week we've got so many things that we've got to fit in. I think I've told you before, my mum's fit all her appointments in. We've got the dog's vet check, that she has to have a vet certificate before we can take her abroad. That's costing me an arm and a leg, bless her. We've got dog's haircut. We've got, oh gosh, we've got so many exciting things to do next week. You won't believe it. Trying to see everyone before we go. Right, so this is the background page, same as before. Folded it in half, and I'm just, there is a little mark there that's on the paper, like a crease in the design, and it is kind of where I know that needs to go. But you can rub these little pencil marks out. And then again, all I'm going to do is match this point up with the crease down the middle. So I've got that one there, making sure that all of the background is on the page for when I glue it. So put a peg just there. It's hard to see the crease line sometimes, I will say. Yeah, that's the crease line just there. And then again, I'm just going to put glue on these flat bits. And then I'll show you how I think we could use this. I think there might be, you know, there's going to be other ways that you can use these. Oh, Carol Laws, you silly new. You don't want that tab on there still, do you? Cut your tabs off before you glue, folks. Silly Nana. As my grandson would say, you're a Nana bum. Nana bum Nana. Okay. Cut the side tabs off before you glue it down. Bit annoying if you forget, I would imagine. Not sure I've got any just there. I've got it on my finger now. And that one there. I can take those off because it's now glued on the sides. And I can cut these little tabs off. Sorry, I forgot what I was saying then. Concentrating, trying to see. There we go. Can't really see my pencil marks, but I'll just do a little rub where I think I put them. And then I think that will fold. My folds aren't brilliant, so bear with me. That is going to fold like that. I mean, you could use this as a birthday card, couldn't you? You know, if you made it this small and did it on card, it could be the insert of a birthday card, which would be pretty, wouldn't it? So you've got that like that. I think that's very pretty. So that's a little one. So when it's folded, that one measures 3.5 wide by 5 inches deep. And my thought was, what you could actually do with it would be put it on the side of a page or in the middle of the page, so that when you could put a tab just here, so that when you opened it, you've got something that's a bit different as a pocket. Because if you just glued it down down two sides there, it could go on the page and you could tuck something behind it. Have I got something that I could tuck behind it just to show you? So you could have a journal card tucked behind it. You'd put a tab on the edge there so that when you opened it, you'd got that beautiful image peeking out at you. So it could go, you know, on the front and in the middle there, and you could have it as a side tuck. Would be better that way then, wouldn't it? So that you've got the fold that you're tucking against. So in that case, it would go on something like that, and you could have it as a tuck there, glue it down 3 sides on the back, put a tab on it, open it up, and you've got that lovely pocket peeking out at you. So that was just, you know, I'm trying to think of different videos that I can do, and I just thought you might like to see how these work out. I think that they are cute in the middle of a page, and I think that would make a lovely tuck spot. Glue it on 3 sides and put a tag behind it, and it still opens up. And I just think it's a little bit of a surprise for whoever gets the journal. So I'll put the link below to these. They're from the paper cameo. So I've got 3 that I can be working with. I hope you liked it, and I will see you when I get back from my holidays. Take care, folks. Bye.